I am 68 years old. I lived in my own apartment. The apartment is registered in my name. I obtained it legally. I worked, paid for it, raised children, endured a husband who drank, buried my parents. It was my life and my home. My son got married 15 years ago. At first, my daughter-in-law was quiet. She smiled. She called me mom. I believed her. I let them live with me because they said it was temporary. Temporary turned into years. I paid the utilities. I bought food. I took care of the grandchildren. They worked, but they were always short of money. I stayed silent. Then the conflict started. Not immediately. First, my daughter-in-law began to give orders. She told me where to sit, when to turn on the light, when to watch TV. I tolerated it. Then she started saying the apartment was old and needed to be sold. She said I was already old and didn't need a large apartment. She said I could move to the countryside or to my older daughter. My daughter lives in another city. She has her own family and a small apartment. I said I would not sell the apartment. That was my first no in many years. After that, everything changed sharply. She stopped speaking to me normally. She started yelling. She began telling my son that I was mentally ill. She said I forgot everything. She said I was dangerous. I was healthy. I went to the store. I remembered dates. I paid bills. But it didn't matter to her. One day I went to the clinic. When I returned, I couldn't find my passport. I always kept it in a drawer. It was gone. I asked her. She said she hadn't seen it. My son stayed silent. Then my identification code disappeared. Then my pension certificate. Then my medical documents. I understood it wasn't accidental. I asked directly. She said she had taken the documents because I might lose them. She said it would be better that way. She said I didn't understand what I was doing. I demanded they be returned. She refused. My son took her side. He said I was exaggerating. He said it was for my own good. After that, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go to the bank. I couldn't get certificates. I couldn't go to a notary. I became a person without documents in my own apartment. She began to control everything. She received my pension. She said it was more convenient that way. I didn't give consent. She just took the card. My son knew. He stayed silent. When I tried to talk to neighbors, she said I was ruining her reputation. When I called my daughter, she stood nearby and listened. Once she took the phone and said I was turning the children against her. She started threatening me. She said she would send me to a psychiatric hospital. She said she would file a report that I was aggressive. She said I had dementia. I knew it was a lie, but I was afraid. I had no documents, no support, no strength. One evening, she locked the door from the outside. I was inside the apartment but couldn't leave. She said it was for my safety. I sat for several hours without water. When my son returned, he said he didn't see a problem. I realized they were slowly removing me from my own life. Not with shouting, not with beatings, but with papers. Control. Lies. A month later, I accidentally overheard their conversation. They were talking about selling the apartment. They said that without documents I couldn't do anything. They said it was possible to declare me incapacitated. They spoke calmly, like about buying furniture. I stopped eating. I stopped sleeping. I lost weight. She said I looked sick and that it proved her words. I contacted an acquaintance. She helped me go to the police. Without a passport. They listened reluctantly. They said it was a family conflict. They said documents were needed. A closed circle. When my daughter-in-law found out I had been to the police, she exploded. She yelled. She said I was a traitor. She said it would get worse for me. My son stayed silent again. She took my apartment keys. She said I might lose them. I began living in one room, without the right to go out when I wanted. I was alive, but I was no longer considered a person. Through my daughter, I managed to restore my passport. It was difficult and took a long time. When my daughter-in-law found out, she said it changed nothing. But it did change something. I went to a notary. I made a will. Not in my son's favor. She screamed. She threatened me. She said I would regret it. After that, she became even more aggressive. But she already knew I had not broken. Now I live separately. Not in my apartment. The apartment is still in court. I did not get all my documents back. She destroyed some of them. My son does not speak to me. He chose her. I have no illusions. I survived. But I lost my family. And I know for sure. Sometimes the greatest cruelty is not a blow, but when your documents are taken from you, and they tell you it is for your own good.